Hi, this is Linda G. Roberts, your solution lady, your coach, and your teacher, with another tip to help you prepare for interviews. Now, before I get into the first typical question of an interview, I want to remind you about your resume. You always want to make sure that your resume targets the position you're applying for. So, for example, if you have experience in customer service, and you've also had experience as an accountant, for example, you want to make sure that your resume reflects your customer service skills, especially if you're applying for a customer service position. And of course, the opposite would be true. If you're applying mostly for accounting type of positions, you want to make sure that it's your accounting skills that are reflected. Now, oftentimes we might have to choose a skills-based resume where we also showcase some skills. So for example, if you're an accountant, you want to showcase your accounting skills, but you may also want to showcase your customer service skills. Of course, depending on if you will be dealing with customers, and they could be internal customers or clients or external clients. So make sure you always target your resume. Now, I also want to talk to you about one very typical question here, and it's usually the first question often asked at an interview, and it's the "tell me about yourself" question. Usually it's the first question. It's a question to help you, get comfortable, ease into the interview. And so what I'm going to suggest is to answer the question, of course, as it relates to the position. For example, you will talk about your studies, your training as it relates to the position. So if we're talking about an accounting position, of course, you would talk about your education as it relates to accounting position. You'd also talk about perhaps a special area that you've worked in the past. Perhaps you've done auditing, for example. You also want to talk a little bit about your related experience. I say a little bit because obviously there will be other questions. So you want to just surface some of the experiences that you've had and any strengths and abilities that you have in relationship to the position, any software skills that you have, again, as it relates to the position. And so I'll give you an example answering this question. If I was asked a question, "Tell me about yourself," and I'm applying for a teacher position. So I would say something like this. Well, I graduated from Teachers College a few years ago, and when I graduated, I was hired as a college teacher. So I taught for a few years at a college level. I taught, for example, courses in the Child and Youth Worker program. I've taught Intro to Psychology courses. I've taught Human Diversity courses, for example. And most recently, I've started teaching English as a second language. I've completed the certificate as well of teaching English as a second language. And most recently, I started teaching for two different companies. One company is Cambly, where I'm meeting students from all over the world. And the other company is Lixuo, where I'm meeting Chinese students, adult students. And I very much enjoy teaching adults. I've always enjoyed teaching young adults or older adults because I find that adults are motivated. They truly want to learn the skills that they're registering for in the programs. I'm an individual that enjoys working and showing my expressions. I enjoy helping a student understand. So if a student has questions, I will do my best to answer the question. And I'll always ask the student to explain so that I can verify their comprehension, for example. I also have great computer skills. I've offered many webinars, so I'm able to use online platforms, for example. And that would be an example of how you can answer that question, "Tell me about yourself." Now, of course, this is just an example, but you get the idea that you want to talk about you as it relates to the position. I certainly hope this tip was helpful to you. If you have any other questions, please send me an email at linda@lindagRobert.com, or you can use my teacher email as well, teacherlindagr@gmail.com. And you can go to my website for more information on the services that I'm now offering you, a student of English as a second language. I'm here to help you practice your interviewing skills. I'm also here to help you with your resumes as well. So have yourself a wonderful day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.